What is going on? Good morning or night, evening, I don't know what time you're watching this. Common question for maybe not new paintball players, but people who are recently getting into these spool valve style guns is how much grease you should use. So let's talk about like how much grease you should put on these things, where to put grease, and like different types of grease and what I think's better. So I've kind of lumped grease into like two categories, right? There's like heavier, thicker grease, and then there's some lighter weight, like runnier style grease. Like the monkey poo's a little bit lighter and waterier. The hater sauce is definitely lighter. Or there's the thicker stuff. Like there's Molly Coat 11. There's Dow 33, which is probably going to be the most common stuff. Planet Eclipse repackages Dow 33 in their little tubes that come with guns. There's GOG stuff is repackaged Dow 33. Or you can buy like actual Dow 33 in these like 5 ounces, I think this is. I don't know, 150 grams, whatever that works out to be ounces, I don't know. So I prefer that heavier stuff. I kind of find that like the 33 works with most stuff, whether it's a dye gun, Planet Eclipse guns, Bob Long guns, MacDev guns, whatever it is. It's kind of like universal and works well with everything. Because it's a little thicker and tends to last and like stay in place longer. My experience with the lighter weight grease is that it gonna shoot a little bit better with it because the grease is so much lighter that just like reduces friction even a little bit more. So you may be able to run little lower operating pressures, but because it's so light, it ends up going away fast. It shoots out the end of the gun and you just need to grease more often. So I prefer that 33 stuff just because it lasts longer. And it's not a dramatic difference in the way guns shoot with different style greases. I mean, if you have something like really, really thick, like the Molly Coat 111 stuff that's like ridiculous, it's like paste, a gun's probably not going to shoot so well with that. But the 33, yeah, I like it because it lasts long and works fine. So how much grease should you actually use? We're going to do a top-down shot and I'll show you. So how much grease? So this is a Planet Eclipse G-Tech. This is my G-Tech. So let's just put some grease on this bad boy and see how much we should do and what I'd recommend. So bolt comes out of these pretty easy. This bolt unscrews pretty quick. There's bolt, right? For the most part, that's the whole gun. So we don't want to over grease stuff. We just kind of want to wet the O-rings a little bit. Some of these guns require a little bit more, like that Bob Long gun I had, but we'll get to that too. So we're just going to apply a thin coat, right like that. I think you guys can see that. I hope you can. Let's hope that zooms and focuses. So just a light coat. You don't want to go super crazy. We just want to make sure that we hit all of the O-rings though. We're just going to do the ones that are visible right now. This specific bolt comes down a little bit further and we can apply a little bit more grease to more spots if we really want, but that goes together too. So that's really how much you want to do. Not a ton. There's some on this back that I'm going to put grease on real fast too, but not crazy, right? Just light coats. On the Planet Eclipse guns at least, and that's true for most of the guns. We do find that, like this Bob Long gun though, this Victory Ripper Bob Long gun that looks really fancy, these do require a little bit more. So if we take out bolt on this thing, also just kind of unscrews pretty simple. These guns are a little bit more complicated though, so there's like way more friggin' parts. But on this thing, we're gonna go a little bit more liberal. These require, maybe not require, but they do chew up grease pretty good. So we're gonna go a little bit heavier on the grease. So we can see that on the back of these at least, I would consider like that right there. If you can see that, hopefully you can. On the back right there, that sail, I would consider that a lot of grease. But it's probably better to err on the side of caution. So if you don't know how much grease you should be putting on gun, just go ahead and do a little bit extra. Too much could be bad, like if you're packing the thing full of grease and parts can't move, that would be bad. But just a little bit extra to make sure that it's good and greased. So that's how much grease you should apply to, like we'll say this Bob Long gun, and to that Planet Eclipse G-Tech. And that amount of grease is going to be fairly common. Like, you don't have to go super crazy, but most of the guns, like the dye guns, mech dev guns, whatever it be, are gonna require the same amount of grease that we put on this G-Tech. And I would recommend reapplying every time you play paintball, but you shouldn't have to redo it during the day at least. Unless you're using, like I said, that lighter weight grease that doesn't last very long. But if you're using like this stuff, the Dow 33, applying it in the morning or the night before you go play should be satisfactory. Thanks, guys. If you have more questions about how much grease to put on paintball guns, do leave a comment below, or maybe what the difference is between two specific greases. Maybe I can answer it, or someone else. But if you want, check out more of these like general paintball tip videos in that rectangle box. There's a circle over there. Click that to subscribe, or check out the Paintball Ruined My Life store. I'm looking for shirts. We don't have any right here. Hit the square one though to check them out.